Right now, someone you were once kind to is planning exactly how to use you again. They didn't test you first. They didn't ask permission. They just took everything. And the worst part? You let them. You smiled. You said it was fine. Every time you said yes when you meant no, you were paying a debt you never owed. This isn't about becoming cruel. This is about stopping the bleed right now. There was a brilliant man who saw this exact trap coming over 500 years ago. He wasn't a villain. He was a mirror held up to the face of power itself. And he left a warning that most people are too soft to hear, too comfortable to face. By the end of this video, you will never see your kindness the same way again. Stay, listen, or walk away now while you still can. You were raised to believe goodness always protects you. It simply doesn't. Not here. Not in this world. Goodness is currency, and you have been giving it away for free while the world watched. The world didn't reward your openness. It mapped it, cataloged it, used it. They learned exactly where all your buttons were. Then they pressed them all. Every single time you apologized for merely existing, someone took careful notes on you. Your flexibility wasn't admired by anyone around you. It was exploited by everyone. The problem was never your generous heart. It was your visibility, your exposure. You thought being easy to work with would open doors. It opened you. The open hand always gets slapped hard. The closed fist gets respected. Remember that. You weren't too kind inside. You were too visible with it. Too obvious. This is the trap nobody warned you about. Not your parents. Not your teachers. The more you gave, the more they expected. That wasn't connection. That was conditioning. You carefully built a reputation as the person who never says no. And now that reputation fully owns you. It dictates your every move. But one perceptive man watched this exact pattern destroy empires and rulers alike. And he wrote it all down. Niccolo Machiavelli. Born 1469. Died 1527. Florence, Italy. Secretary. Diplomat. Exile. He didn't sit in a palace writing abstract theories. He personally lived the collapse. After 15 long years serving Florence faithfully, raising its first citizen militia, he watched his beloved city fall. They imprisoned him in chains, tortured him ruthlessly, dislocated his shoulders, banished him. The very man who wrote the guide to never being exploited was himself exploited, discarded, and completely broken. He wrote The Prince essentially as a desperate job application to the Medici family, desperate to return to politics. It was published 5 long years after his death. He never saw it spread. He was personally the opposite of his own cold philosophy. He inspired genuine warm affection, not fear. Each painful night he changed out of muddy clothes and imagined himself walking in ancient courts. There is nothing that wastes so rapidly as liberality, for even whilst you exercise it you lose the power to do so. Machiavelli watched generosity slowly destroy the very people who practiced it most. The more generous you are, the higher their expectations climb. The debt grows, until the only way to fund your generosity is taking from those you are trying to please. You become either poor and despised, or rapacious and hated. There is no third option. The kind person doesn't just get exploited once. They build a system that guarantees their own destruction. Drop this in the comments. I built the bridge they used to cross me. Real generosity isn't a performance for crowds. It isn't a debt you create for others. Stop giving endlessly with the false expectation that gratitude will protect you. It won't. Here is exactly what nobody ever tells you. Machiavelli never condemned genuine kindness. He only condemned performed kindness. The generosity you put on display for reputation. Public kindness performed for reputation is a con that bankrupts you completely. To keep up the display, you must raise taxes, squeeze money, harm many to benefit few. Private, genuine kindness he never condemned at all. Keep your real goodness invisible. If they can see your goodness, they can price it. They can target it. They can use it against you. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. Use it wisely and carefully. Make your real kindness invisible to them. Let your strength be what they see. When Machiavelli used the word virtue, he absolutely wasn't talking about Christian goodness. Virtue meant raw adaptive capacity alone, the ability to switch modes when threatened. A kind person who cannot become steel when the moment demands it simply isn't virtuous to him at all. They are unarmed, defenseless, and the world does not spare the unarmed. Those Machiavelli called weak were softened by long peace. He called them effeminate. He didn't admire cruelty alone. He deeply admired the capacity for both. You need full range always. Pure kindness when it's safe. Force when it isn't. Virtue without the capacity for severity is just vulnerability wearing a mask. Now here is something that no one on this entire platform has told you before. Some scholars firmly believe The Prince was actually a satire, a trap for tyrants. The contradictions, the morally absurd advice, the specious arguments, all of it deliberate. Machiavelli may have been exposing tyranny by giving tyrants enough rope to hang themselves. Imagine writing a manual so dangerous that following it destroys the follower. Some have suggested he hoped the young Lorenzo de' Medici would follow his advice and bring about the end of Medici rule. Whether it was satire or strategy, the message remains. The appearance of virtue can be a weapon. This reframes absolutely everything you currently think you know about kindness. Machiavelli argued most forcefully that making a brutal example of one or two offenders is kinder than allowing disorders to develop into chaos for all. The soft leader who never punishes anyone isn't truly kind inside. They're outsourcing the violence to chaos. The leader who avoids difficult decisions creates worse suffering in the long run. In your own life right now, this means setting one hard boundary early. One hard conversation right now prevents 10 soft betrayals later. Count on it. Drop this in the comments right now. Boundaries are the real compassion. Your softness doesn't save people. It enables their worst behavior until the crash. Nobody ever reads this crucial part. In the Discourses, Machiavelli said his advice depends entirely on where you are. In a principality, the rules are exactly what you think. Harsh, personal, survival-based. But in a republic, the path of strictness and discipline is more praiseworthy. It favors the public good. He deliberately contrasted two Roman commanders first, Manlius Torquatus, harsh and disciplined, and Valerius Corvinus, kind and beloved. Both succeeded fully. Both were right. The difference was the political structure, not the man. Most content applies Prince logic universally. Machiavelli never did. Ask yourself honestly what structure you're actually in. Then apply the right logic. Now we finally come to the hidden tragedy at the heart of everything. He understood better than anyone alive how to seize real power. And yet cruelly deprived of it himself, he spent many long years in the political wilderness. He preached hardness and yet practiced warmth daily. He inspired affection wherever he went. He flatly refused to flatter obvious fools. He regularly mouthed off to superiors. He championed dissimulation but was incapable of it. His own kindness cost him everything he wanted. His entire philosophy was born from crushing exile. From a broken man changing into clean clothes just to imagine himself in ancient courts. He fed hungrily on the only food he truly found nourishing. Deep intellectual conversation with the long dead. The entire philosophy of ruthless power was written by a broken man play-acting grandeur in a tiny farmhouse. Remember that when you read him, he wasn't a monster. He was a man who loved a city that broke him. The old you is dead, buried, already forgotten. That person who kept apologizing for taking up any space at all. Gone. Forever. You are a weapon now, pointed directly and solely at your own future. You belong to no one now. Not their fading expectations. Not their comfort. Not their version of you. Never again. Machiavelli died in exile. But his warning didn't. It found you. Now use it. You don't need to agree with everything he ever wrote. But you absolutely needed to hear all of it here today. What you ultimately do with this knowledge is your decision. Not mine. Not anyone's. If you want more of these dark warnings from the shadows, then you already know where to find them. But I don't need to ask. You already know if you're staying. Tell me this honestly. What specific kindness of yours was mistaken for pure weakness, and what exact price did you pay?